So the Xbox One X is already being discontinued. So the Xbox One X had a very short life. They were making such a big deal about it a few years ago, and now it's already being discontinued. So the Xbox Series X is coming out, which is basically the upgraded version of the Xbox One X at this current point, because that's what the next gen consoles are basically going to be. That's what Xbox said. It's gonna be the upgrade of Xbox One X, and they don't want. And I think the reason why the game of the Xbox One X is because they don't want to people get confused with the Xbox Series X, which that's very similar titles. Of course, they don't want to get continued. And another weird one is a 12-month subscription plan is being removed as well. But here's some good news for people who hate digital-only games like me. Well, guess what? The Xbox One RS all digital version will be discontinued. Yes. Okay. There was a test that Microsoft put out. Say, if digital is going to take over, we got to pull out the old digital version, which both have been on the market for a limited time. All digital version is being discontinued. The physical version will still be there. The Xbox One S, the normal disc version, and the original Xbox One will still be sold, of course, because of course you won't be able to tell, because you can at least tell the difference between the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X. And they even said the Xbox One will be the lesser version, the cheaper version of the Xbox One. If you don't, it's kind of like gaming PCs where you have like the really cheap PCs for everybody, and then you have the expensive ones that lots of people buy. And Microsoft is of course going to be like that as well. So basically, they're gonna keep the Xbox One if the Xbox Series X is not a big success, because of course, as I explained, subscribe Sword Stock, and of course the virus might have something to do with this because of they can't have 5 consoles at once on self, because the PS4, they have the PS4 and PS4 Pro and the PSVR. Okay, Xbox, they have the Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox One X, Xbox One S, and all digital version. They really admit they can't have 5 consoles at once. They're going to have the Xbox One, Xbox One S, which is basically which basically already is very powerful on its own, more powerful than the standard Xbox One. And it'll be, and I think that discontinuing the Xbox X is actually pretty good move, because they have they have the Xbox Series X, and I think the Xbox One X is just gonna be like, oh, what's the point of buying an Xbox One X if we can just buy the more powerful one? People who are basically, they're mostly graphics whores, those people who are obsessed with graphics. Yeah, those people are going to be buying the Xbox Series X. So yeah, release it in a couple of years, will be able to be played on the Xbox Series X and Xbox One. We won't force you to upgrade the Xbox Series X at once to buy Xbox exclusives. Third-party companies might, but not Microsoft. So if you want to play Halo Infinite, you can play it on the Xbox One. You won't have to buy the new console. And I think that's what they're saying here. So Overwatch 2 will not be coming out. Games that have already been planned for the Xbox One will still probably come out for the Xbox One, probably for the next few years. They're treating it like it's a PC, okay? There's no Xbox Series X all digital version, because they obviously know that the Xbox One S all digital version was a flop. No one bought it, because nobody buys into this all digital crap, thankfully, yet now. But yep, that's basically it. Goodbye.